Alright. I'd like to do a little instructional demonstration on the single buck. This question came from Fred Whiter over in Australia, wanting to learn some of the basic fundamentals of how to do the one-man crosscut. One of the first things you need to understand is that when you're single bucking, the power that you're generating is not forward and back. That's in a two-man. In a two-man crosscut, you go forward and back. With the single buck, it's just like the standing block. It's all rotational. Everything rotates. Your leg moves first, followed by your hips, followed by your torso, followed by your shoulder, followed by your arm. Just think of your back arm. If you're right-handed, your right arm as a locomotive. First thing that I like to do is get my distance from the log. For some people, I'm short. I'm only 5'10". I like to go 15 to 16 inches away from the log with my front foot. My front foot is perpendicular to the saw. Alright, now I've got my front toe even with the saw itself, and then I actually go back about 54 inches, the same stance I would use in a standing block, and I would put the front foot or the front or my toe even with the instep of my front foot. Reason for that is I want to be able to pull the saw past me while keeping the saw as straight as I can. If the saw is moving one way or the other, it means that it's rubbing or friction is being caused by the actual saw touching the side of the wood. Now, a lot of people start with the pull stroke, push stroke, completely your game, whatever you want to do. The main thing to remember about single bucking, especially for you shorter folks out there like me, is that you need to keep the handle beneath your shoulder or in your armpit. You need to keep it below there. There's a lot of guys in Australia that saw up here. If you do that, you have no ability to use your rotational torque, your legs, your hips, in order to get behind the saw. You want to use as long a stroke as you can. And what I would tell people is when you're learning to saw, you need to videotape the saw into wood to see what you are doing on your push and pull strokes. With pagan raker saws, you ideally want to pull the near wood, have a minor lift or opening of the window with the push stroke, and close the window at the end of the push stroke, and then a repeat. If you were to go to the opposite side of the log, what you'll notice is that the teeth stay in almost constant contact with that wood during both the push and the pull stroke. When you are single bucking, you look on this side of the log because that is the wood that you are cutting. When you're double bucking, you look on this side of the log because that is where you are cutting. Now obviously I hope this video helps some folks. If you have any questions or comments, just post them on here. If I have to do some supplemental videos, I will, hopefully explaining some things, because it's easier to actually show someone in person than it is to try and describe it in writing. But anyway, good luck. Let's have some fun.